बम बम लहरी शिव शिव लहरी,
बम बम लहरी शिव शिव लहरी,
बम बम लहरी शिव शिव लहरी,
बम बम लहरी शिव शिव लहरी।
कोई गाए अगड़ बम शिव लहरी,
अगड़ बम शिव लहरी,
अगड़ बम शिव लहरी,
अगड़ बम शिव लहरी।
गंगा जी निधार बोले, ओ गंगा जी निधार बोले, घट घट माही बोले,
गंगा जी निधार बोले, घट घट माही बोले।
ओ शिव लहरी रे भाई शिव लहरी,
शिव लहरी रे भाई शिव लहरी।
बम 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 लहरी शिव शिव लहरी,
बम बम लहरी शिव शिव लहरी।
कोई गाए अगड़ बम शिव लहरी, अगड़ बम शिव लहरी,
अगड़ बम शिव लहरी, अगड़ बम शिव लहरी।
नारद जी ने वीणा बोले, नारद जी ने वीणा बोले, शिव जी नु डमरू बोले,
नारद जी ने वीणा बोले, शिव जी नु डमरू बोले।
ओ शिव लहरी रे भाई शिव लहरी,
शिव लहरी रे भाई शिव लहरी।
बम बम लहरी शिव शिव लहरी,
बम बम लहरी शिव शिव लहरी।
कोई गाए अगड़ बम शिव लहरी, अगड़ बम शिव लहरी,
अगड़ बम शिव लहरी, अगड़ बम शिव लहरी।
ओ शाम तेरी बंसी बोले, शाम तेरी बंसी बोले, मीरा नो एक तारो बोले,
शाम तेरी बंसी बोले, मीरा नो एक तारो
ओ
बोले।
शिव लहरी रे भाई शिव लहरी,
शिव लहरी रे भाई शिव लहरी।
बम 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 लहरी शिव शिव लहरी,
बम बम लहरी शिव शिव लहरी।
कोई गाए अगड़ बम शिव लहरी, अगड़ बम शिव लहरी,
अगड़ बम शिव लहरी, अगड़ बम शिव लहरी।
अगड़ बम शिव लहरी, अगड़ बम शिव लहरी,
अगड़ बम शिव लहरी, अगड़ बम शिव लहरी।
The change in our lifestyles before 2020 and after 2021, a small entity ranging from merely 80 to 120 nanometers has managed to drastically change human lifestyle. And for all you know, these small entities or viruses may not even be considered living. Today, some of my classmates will talk about their views on how coronavirus has changed our lives to now what we call the new normal. We begin with Shivani talking about how COVID-19 killed handshakes and hugs. Then Arushi will give her views on work from home. Ansh will talk about how different perspectives of personal hygienes have changed. And Aleen will give a poem in English. Please welcome Shivani.
coronavirus has changed many aspects of life. One of them is the way people greet each other. Before coronavirus, it was all about Jadoo Ki Chappis. Whenever we meet our family or friends, Jadoo Ki Chappi was the most important thing. It had the capacity to eliminate sadness and gave us a new sense of energy. Now, not only chappies, but handshakes have also evaporated from the surface of Earth. Now we fold our hands and hug ourselves whenever we meet our family and friends. But don't be sad, we have developed new ways of greetings using our elbows and our feet. Thank you.
Namaste, I am Arushi from Pre-IB. Today, work from home has become a very common term. Before 2020, people could not even imagine that almost all MNC, schools, colleges and other offices could have a work from home for this staff. Work from home brings more disadvantages than advantage. On one hand, it has opened up a lots of scope through online work. It has also brought quite a few problems along. Increased screen time and posture-related problems have now become very common. The most bonded are the working women who have to manage their work and their children, and the most is the work home without a maid. One of the advantages could be that the petrol and diesel are conserved because the people are not going out frequently. The virus has made us understand that the most of the work is happen at the home, and also made us understand that the proper timing and proper healthcare is being a lot in the corona time. Thank you.
केक टाइम। हाथ धो लो नहीं तो बीमार पड़ जाओगे।
हाथ धो। मम्मी कहती है फुल 1 मिनट तक हाथ धोने चाहिए, नहीं तो कीटाणु नहीं जाते। धोते जाओ धोते जाओ धोते जाओ धोते जाओ धोते जाओ।
बंटी, तेरा साबुन स्लो है क्या?
लाइपो हैंड वॉश
10 सेकेंड।
नमस्ते, आई एम अंश फ्रॉम IB2। बंटी का साबुन नहीं, हमारी सोच गलत थी। As advised by medical professionals amidst the pandemic, washing hands thoroughly for at least 30 seconds is important to maintain personal hygiene. COVID-19 pandemic presents an unprecedented challenge to public health. Sales of disinfectants have gone through the roof. The shelves of hand sanitizers in supermarkets have been cleared out, and masks have become a fashion statement. Not just washing hands, but the proper technique and the time limit for washing hands has now become more important. Other than hand sanitizing, just regular sanitizing of all surfaces also has become the habit during the COVID times. While increased standards of personal hygiene, all of us think twice about touching the surfaces and even greeting people. Thank you.
Coronavirus is a global crisis. We're going to have to stay home to fight this. Indoors with our phone beside us. Literally left to our own devices. Don't you find this strange? A second ago, our biggest stress was climate change. Now, we face a more immediate threat. It's more lives in danger. It's time we change up. This is not about political mudslinging. It's not about silver spoon versus difficult upbringing. It's bigger than sectors lobbying government. This is about protecting everybody recovering. It's about detecting, it's about discovering, preventing unnecessary suffering. It's about preserving our healthcare systems, which are already struggling. Humankind has made so much progress, and since we all bask in the glory, got to remember it's a process. I'm part of a story that has started before me. I know that human experience is priceless when we are facing such a serious crisis. Collectively, we challenge these forces, manage resources, so I can't pretend to form no form of unity with everybody else in the global community. We are internationally connected, and this brings us closer, as can be expected. That's why I am still in touch with my old school teachers. Human beings are social creatures. We have debates, exaggerate, aggravate, exacerbate, but make no mistake, we are the best when we collaborate. We last longer, no less forever. If we use this time to progress together, the future holds unexposed danger, but no stress. Humankind is stronger to progress. As we have proven, when we collaborate, progress follows fast. We dictate what the future holds, because today's present is tomorrow's past.
Thank you, Shivani, Arushi, Ansh, and Aleen. Now we have the next group of speakers. Avani, who will talk about the changes in family dynamics, followed by Devangi, who will give her views on telehealth, and Chahna, who will talk about online education. So let's first welcome Avani.
The emergence of a pandemic has led to changes in family dynamics. From it has disturbed our lives to spending more time together has strengthened bonds. Families have had a varied experience during the COVID-19 pandemic. Working professionals and parents often find it hard to spend enough time with their children and families. Older members spend most of their time alone at home. This lockdown, although stressful at times, given the constant proximity, did provide a great opportunity to spend quality time together. However, it also highlighted the gendered division of household work, exposing the unspoken sexism prevalent in the Indian societies. As the women of the family, the responsibility of running the household now exclusively falls on the females of the family. In the absence of domestic help, she alone has to carry the physical and mental burden. For that is the rule instinctively adhered to in Indian families, where male members are not expected to perform household tasks. The lockdown, however, has been a learning curve for many men, who have moved past with helping with household chores to being normalized with the idea of it.
Okay, Paul. Okay, Jerry, you tell me you have a rash.
Yeah, on my arm.
Oh, can I have a little look there?
Okay. There. Do you see that there?
Okay, now with the texture, Jerry, would you describe it as medium rough or mild coarse?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, I need you to be exact, Jerry, okay? Medium rough or mild coarse?
I'm not really sure.
Just take a breath, Jerry. This is very, very important, okay?
Mild course.
Oh, that is a relief. I tell you, if that had been medium rough, would have been straight to the emergency room. Well, look,
right.
If anything else crops up, you just let me know, okay? Bang me on an email.
Because
Good
I'm
luck.
not really sure.
Namaste, I'm Devangi of IB2. The word telehealth is familiar to most of us. It is the use of digital information and communication technology from laptops and mobile phones to remotely access healthcare services. Pre-COVID, the idea of online world was a slim possibility to an extent that telehealth didn't even seem to exist. However, it has become the basic necessity right now, especially to the general population, to the healthcare service providers and patients with COVID-19 when people are quarantined. It enables patients to contact healthcare service providers and ask advice for their health. However, it does have its limitations too, as people who aren't well equipped with the system cannot get access to medical help. This pandemic has opened up the scope of contacting healthcare professionals from any part of the world.
Namaste, I am Chahna from IB1. From chalk and markers to keyboards, from the keep quiet command to the speak up demand, from bunking classes to muting them, from maintaining notebooks to taking screenshots, from classroom to Zoom and Meet. It's been a journey of change from every conventional method to a technical one. Sitting in front of a laptop and staring at multiple different profile pictures instead of befriending new faces. Listening to the teacher speak instead of watching her speak. Giving the disinterested yes we understand without even knowing what's going on. And clicking on different links one after the other instead of walking up to the classroom. The definition of school sure has changed. On one hand, it allows students to continue learning, but there are multiple students who are deprived from education due to the inavailability of smartphones and other devices. Though the learning continued, it was not as effective as the offline school. During online schools, it's difficult to do hands-on activities such as performing experiments in the labs, which help us students understand the unit better. I believe that finding different excuses for late submissions is more adventurous than the "am I audible" excuse. That no matter how much reality we put in the online schools, it still lacks the human feel. Thank you.
Thank you, Avani, Devangi, and Chahna. Our next group of speakers are Arhaan, who will talk about the decreasing trust in the globalized world, followed by Sutreja, who will talk about the increased alertness for diseases, and then Dev Sajde will give a Hindi poem.
The pandemic has led to each country becoming fairly independent and fighting their own battles, as it was very difficult to transport the resources between countries due to the restrictions set in place. In addition, due to shortage of resources everywhere, it was not feasible to help others. Citizens started to rely on the products of their own country, that led to decreasing trust in the globalized world in comparison to what it was before. Global international tourist arrivals decreased by about 58% in 2020, leading to major losses in the tourism industry. Even the trade between nations was severely affected, with the global trade decreasing by about 32% in 2020. As a result, the global system that was established prior to the coronavirus pandemic suffered a blow, as people realized they can manage without importing resources from other nations and going to the other countries. Moreover, some countries were more impacted than the others, which led to travel bans for the more adversely affected nations, due to which the inter-country travel between them also came to an halt. As the global situation relaxes and restrictions get uplifted, world trade and travel is set to recover slowly but surely.
With the COVID-19 pandemic being widespread across the world, people are becoming more health conscious than ever before. People are now choosing to move towards a better, healthy and organic lifestyle, as people have increased alertness of diseases and prevention, such as getting vaccinated so that they can prevent such diseases, while also getting educated on symptoms of various diseases so that they can take rapid action when in need. Secondly, people are choosing to change their diet to more healthy food so that they can keep factors such as cholesterol and blood sugar in control, while also strengthening their immune system. Lastly, people are choosing alternative methods to get health treatments like Ayurveda too. Thank you.
गुजर जाएगा, गुजर जाएगा। मुश्किल बहुत है मगर वक्त ही तो है। गुजर जाएगा, गुजर जाएगा। जिंदा रहने का ये जो जज्बा है, फिर असर लाएगा। गुजर जाएगा, गुजर जाएगा। माना मौत चेहरा बदल कर आई है, माना मौत चेहरा बदल कर आई है, माना रात काली है, भयावह है, गहराई है। लोग दरवाजों पे सड़कों पे रुके बैठे हैं, लोग दरवाजों पे सड़कों पे बैठे हुए हैं, कहीं घबराए हैं, कहीं सहमे हैं, कहीं छिपे बैठे हैं। मगर यकीन रख ये बस लम्हा है, 2 पल में बिखर जाएगा। जिंदा रहने का ये जो जज्बा है, फिर असर लाएगा। गुजर जाएगा, गुजर जाएगा। बाजार खाली, सड़कें सूनी, मोहल्ले वीरान है। बाजार खाली, सड़कें सूनी, मोहल्ले वीरान है। खौफ बरपा है, हर तरफ लोग हैरान है। ये वो कहर है जो दुनिया को डराने आया। ये वो कहर है जो दुनिया को डराने आया, मगर ना समझ है जो इंसान को हराने आया। इतिहास गवाह है, इतिहास गवाह है, ये मसला भी सुलझ जाएगा। जिंदा रहने का ये जो जज्बा है, टूटा नहीं, गुम हुआ है। यही जज्बा फिर असर लाएगा। मुश्किल बहुत है मगर वक्त ही तो है। गुजर जाएगा, गुजर जाएगा। धन्यवाद। द्वारा
Thank you, Arhaan, Dev, Sutreja, and Dev Sajde. What is this thing that has happened to us? Yes, it's a virus, but there's definitely got to be something more to it than just being an infectious agent. Some people believe it's God finally bringing us to our senses, while others think it's a Chinese conspiracy to take over the world. Whatever it is, coronavirus has transformed nearly every aspect of our lives. Living through a global pandemic has driven dramatic shifts into our jobs, eating habits, and even our collective sense of time. Aleen will now present today's point of socho.
Although all of us have had mixed feelings about being in the lockdown, the surprise is that it has changed the idea of what normal is. What seemed impossible a year ago is now our new normal, and what began as a temporary arrangement is now its substitute. Who can think of jumping onto a bus or sending the child to school without feeling the real fear? Who can think of ordinary pleasure and not assess its risks? Which scientist or doctor is not praying for a miracle? And which priest is not, secretly at least, submitting to science? And even while the virus proliferates, who could not be thrilled by the bird songs in the cities, peacocks dancing at traffic crossings, and the silence in the skies? There are indeed times when the universe runs on irony. Isn't it ironic how we all cribbed while going to school, and now, when we don't, we are still cribbing? Isn't it ironic how we underappreciated our mother's household work, but now when we are asked to mop the floors, we find ourselves dead on our feet? Now that our normal life has become pre-COVID and it stands on the edge of replacement, it makes us realize how badly we want to go back to it. Our mind is still racing back and forth, longing for a return to normality. Historically, pandemics have forced humans to break with the past and imagine their world anew. And this one is no different. It is a portal. It's a gateway between the world and the next. We can choose to walk through it, dragging the carcasses of our prejudice and hatred, our data banks and our dead ideas, our dead rivers and smoky skies. Or we can walk through it lightly, with as little luggage, ready to imagine another world and ready to fight for it. Now, it's upon you to take this pandemic as a slingshot to make yourself a better version of you, or take this as a downfall and keep complaining. Thank you.